Hello students, good morning. Today we are going to learn a new topic from chapter 3, Basic ICT Skills. In today's class that we are going to discuss about basic components of computer system, hardware and software, primary and secondary memory, input and output devices, identify various peripheral devices. So today we are going to learn these 5 topics, that is, identify the various components of computer system from chapter 3. The first one, basic components of computer system. Now we will get down to studying the computer system. A computer system basically comprises of systems. These systems act in unison to make the computer work and do its tricks. In a typical computer, there are 4 important devices. Guess what? Yes, those are mouse, monitor, keyboard, and system cabinet. Now we are seeing mouse and keyboard. We can say the best pair in the computer. Yes, keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse both are input devices that used to access the computer. The keyboard is used to type some characters from its place, and mouse is used to move the cursor or point the particular thing or keep the positioning from the screen. These purpose the mouse and keyboard are working. As well, these are all inputs from the external world. Next one is monitor. Monitor is one of the output devices. It provides output of the process for viewing. It's projecting what it's display. And the fourth one is system cabinet. System cabinet is nothing but it's a CPU, central processing unit. It inside the system cabinet does the mixing and matching, for example, processing of the formatted input data are organized and processed in the CPU itself. That is called system cabinet. The next very important thing, hardware and software. What do you mean by hardware? The hardware is a thing which we can touch, which we can see, and which we can feel. Those kind of the things are called hardware. For example, computer is a hardware, keyboard is a hardware, monitor is a hardware, speaker is a hardware, printer is a hardware, scanner is a hardware. So these kind of the things where we can touch, which we can see, those things are comes under hardware category. And what do you mean by software? So the software is a thing which can be accessible with the help of hardware, because the programs are known as software. We can use, we can feel, but we can't touch it. That is software. So software is one kind of the programs or set of instructions, we can say. See, all the tangible parts of the computer system, no matter how small or big, are parts of the hardware. Clearly, a machine like computer has systems within it, and they are part of the hardware. Thus, mouse, monitor, system cabinet, its subsystems like motherboard, network card, sound card, and keyboard are all hardwares. There are other examples of hardware like printer, joystick, plotter, speakers, etc. We will not describe these devices right now, but they extend the capability of the computer by attaching with the computer. The next one is software. Software is a more complex entity to describe, though. This does not have a physical existence like the hardware devices do. These are other programs and process in existence in the system of computer. If you do not understand what software is, think of the thoughts and the memory in your brain. These cannot be touched and felt but do have an existence. Similarly, software in the computer system has an existence. See here, some of the things are listed as hardware and software. The left side the things are arranged as hardware category, and in the right side arranged the things are software category. The hardware we can see and we can touch and then we can use. Those things are comes under hardware category. The software which we can see, which we can use but we can't touch, that is the software categories. Next we are moving to the important segment, that is primary and secondary memory. In the function of a computer, there are input devices, output devices, CPU and main memory. So in each and every concept there will be storage. For example, we humans, we have a brain to store some memory. As well, in our phone, it has some memory, 3 GB memory or 4 GB memory, like that. Those kind of the storage places we have. As like that, the computer is also having a memory called storage place, where it is categorized as primary memory and secondary memory. First of all, we should know what is primary memory. The primary memory is nothing but which is already inbuilt in the computer itself, that is primary memory. And the secondary memory is nothing but whenever we are using pen drive, hard disk, floppy disk, these are all secondary memory. So the primary memory is basically electronic memory. Its subparts are RAM and ROM, that is random access memory and read-only memory. These memories hold data only while the computer is on. Also, RAM is directly and quickly accessible by the computer. All the data that have to be worked upon by the computer have to be brought into the primary memory, specifically RAM. ROM is also important. It stands for read-only memory. Some preliminary steps from booting up of the computer are read from the ROM. Next one is secondary memory. Secondary memory is basically magnetic memory or optical or flash, but not electronic. Secondary devices is long-term storage of information. That is also why primary memory is small in size, while secondary memory is mostly much larger in size, usable for long-term storage. The most important secondary storage device is the hard disk, normally placed within the system cabinet, although external hard disks are available these days. CDs, which mean compact disc, and DVDs, digital versatile disc, and flash drives, Blu-ray discs are some other secondary storage devices what we are using nowadays. Primary storage has volatile memory and secondary storage has non-volatile memory. What is volatile memory? Whenever you are doing work in the computer, at the time if power goes, everything will be vanished. That is the volatile memory. But whatever you are stored in the secondary storage, it will be stored permanently. Those are considered non-volatile memory. CPU directly accesses the data here in primary storage, but in the secondary storage, CPU will not be accessed directly. And the limited storage capacity primary storage has, but in the secondary storage, according to a user's wish, they can have the large or medium or small kind of a storage devices. And this primary memory faster in data access, but in the secondary storage memory slower in data access. Here some of the input and output storage devices are given here. So these are all the input and output storage devices. So you well known about it. The second one is functions of storage devices. How the storage devices are working. A storage device is any computing hardware that is used for storing, porting and extracting data files and objects. It can hold some information both temporarily and permanently. And the next we are seeing here various peripheral devices. What is peripheral devices? In the previous classes, the previous year 6th standard, 8th standard, you may study about computer network. What is computer network? A collection of computers and peripheral devices that are linked with communication links. So that is a computer network definition. So there we have studied peripheral devices. Peripheral devices, which devices are attached with computer, those devices are known as peripheral devices. So here some of the listed devices are there. Those devices are called peripheral devices. The first one is light pen. What is the use of this light pen? This light pen used to draw on the screen electronic wise. We can make a signature and we can draw something on the monitor of the keyboard, computer or projector we can have. What is the use of this? Because while you are applying for driving license, at that time you will sign along with this light pen. Next one is plotters. Plotters are used to draw precious pictures for use in engineering applications. So while the engineers used to make some important drawings or designs or models, they'll have a picture about the thing which they are going to build. So those things will be taken as a drawing thing. It is a vector graphics system. It is not built using dots on the screen, but the shapes are drawn using geometric shapes. The next one is joystick. This is also an input device because you people mostly know about it. While you are playing, you use this kind of the joystick in PlayStation or in the video games we used to have. The next one is tablet. So we can call it as shortly as tab. These kind of tabs are like smartphones in bigger size in some ways, and it can be also used to take photos and browse and make phone calls also, because it has one port to have a SIM, so that we can insert the SIM and we can make a calls and we can do whatever the browsing, surfing, everything we can do here. The next one is scanner. The scanner is an important one nowadays because it is used to get the digital version of a physical object. Many companies often ask for scanned copies of photographs or PAN card, driving license. So it is the scanner that helps achieve the digital copy of the documents. And printer. The printer This is also a very important output device because it is producing something from the computer. So it comes under the output devices. If you want the hard copy of a certain document, have to look to the printer to provide you with it. There are all kinds of printers. There are dot matrix printers and thermal printers, daisy wheel printers, laser printers, and inkjet printers. Commonly, the printers are classified into impact printers and non-impact printers. The last one is microphone. This is an input device. It takes sounds as input and may do anything with the sound. In principle, in short, it is also known as a mic. So students, whatever we have seen today, you may understand about these concepts. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.